The Gatorade Cup Series is back in action here in Hampton, Georgia at Atlanta, the running of the Bass Pro Shops 400. On the pole for today's race is the number 75 of Derek Hamill, who's outside would be 11 of Jake Galloway. Then in third we have Dale Lightning, fourth is Sebastian Kukulon, and rounding out the top five is Jonathan Beeford in the 13. Then sixth we have Lawrence Palampon. Seventh will be Keegan Thompson. In eighth it's Steve Larker. Ninth place is Anthony Hernandez, and rounding out the top 10 Landon Lyons in the 31. The rest of the field, we have TJ Hanley, last season's champion, who's outside Josh Crash in the 43. Then we have Charles Roberts and Griffin Lynn. Behind them, Max Anderson and Justin Lightning. Then we have Patrick Smith and Carter Friesen. And Eli Bright and Nathan Stapleton, along with Jacob Davidson and Jay Jefferson. Then we have Zachary Fitzwater Sr. and Alexander Rowe, the winner of this race last season. Then Roberto Rivera in the 12 and Anton Charlebois in the 00. Behind them, Luke Rainey and Pena Salada second in points coming into this race. Then we have Diego Yepes with Adam McDowell. Behind them, Danny Lloyd and Oliver Galloway. Then we have Code Luigi. His last win in the Gatorade Cup Series came in this race 2 seasons ago. It's been over 2 full seasons. Can Code find victory lane once again in the Gatorade Cup Series? Jeff Bright also looking to get back to victory lane in the Gatorade Cup Series. It's been well over 2 seasons for him. And All Club season number 6 was his last win. Then we have Levi Shells and Mathis Wells. Behind Wells is points leader Steven Taylor in the 20, Joe Jefferson to his outside. And we have Greg Torres and Trent McGinnis. And in the final row, Tim Gary in the 26 with Ryan Taylor in the 09 to his outside lane. That is the starting lineup for the Bass Pro Shops 400 here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Let's get started with our command.
Drivers, start your engines!
Great command to fire these 42 engines up here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway for 1.5 mile fast racing here in Atlanta. The field rolling off the starting grid, Derek Hamill and Jake Galloway will lead us to the green flag here at Atlanta. It's been a great racetrack in the past. We've seen some wild moments. We've seen photo finishes. We've seen huge crashes. And probably won't come short of any of that here today. We're going to see a great finish, some big crashes potentially, and some great racing, 3-wide action, possibly all day long. 39 laps here at Atlanta, the pace car to pit road. Derek Hamill leads to the green flag. Behind him, the Bass Pro Shops sponsored car of Dale Lightning. Gonna push Hamill going on the start of the Bass Pro Shops 400. We are green at Atlanta. Dale Lightning anticipated that well. Gets a great jump on the poles there. Derek Hamill to lead lap 1. Now they're 3 wide on back. Here comes Anthony Hernandez to the bottom lane, the 48 car, challenging to get to second. This all happening behind Dale Lightning, who was pulled away to a nice gap as they come down the backstretch. 3x3 in the pack. Everyone wanted to get out of that, wanted to get up front and get away in case a crash happens. TJ Hanley, one of them. He's on the bottom lane getting a push from Griffin Lynn. Those are 2 Gatorade Cup Series champions. In fact, they're the last 2 Gatorade Cup Series champions. Now Griffin Lynn moves to the bottom lane, and Justin Lightning going to try and join brother Dale up at the front. Justin for second as they go 3 wide to turn 1. Yeah, some hard racing right at the front of the field as the Lightnings run 1-2 as they come off turn 2 and down the backstretch. It's Dale Lightning leading Justin Lightning, but Carter Friesen wants to end that. He's coming to the bottom lane of the 38 car to turn 3. Friesen with a push from Nathan Stapleton behind as they come off turn number 4. Stapleton now going to move to the bottom lane of Carter Friesen. Jay Jefferson, the 78 there. He's going to look to the bottom lane. Trying to peek his nose out underneath Nathan Stapleton, but Stapleton blocks off nicely to get the advantage to turn 1. And no one's touched Dale Lightning since he got out front. He's led the first 3 laps so far. Now to the bottom lane, Jay Jefferson, the 78. Here comes Roberto Rivera in the 12. Down the back into turn 3. Second in points, Peninsula are on the inside lane inside the top 5. That 77 car coming forward after starting midfield. Off the corner, down the front stretch, Dale Lightning continuing to lead as the Dodges, the 2 Penske Dodges, battle side by side. Salon, the 77 to the bottom of Roberto Rivera in the 12. Now here comes the 16 car, Rand McDowell to the bottom lane. That's for the second position. Once again, all happening by Dale Lightning, who's actually leading this race. Now Danny Lloyd, that pink number 56, breast cancer awareness car, coming to the bottom lane, but McDowell stays clear in the 16. Off turn 4, the 16 slides up 56 to the bottom lane. Jeff Bright in the 5. Does he take it 3 wide? He does. Here comes the 5. Jeff Bright 3 wide. Mathis Wells, Luke Rainey, Diego Yepez. So far, Dale Lightning has gotten out front. Now they're 4 wide inside the top 10 contact. Yepez going around. The A7 up off the ground, goes a few cars. Solana, and they're wrecking again. The 33, and they come up into the field, and it's a big crash. Eli Brennan, the 88, the 6, and Keegan Thompson. Hernandez, Jay Jefferson, TJ Hanley, Levi Shones, Tim Gary. There's Trey McGinnis and Zachary Fitzwater Sr., Jonathan Buford as well. And the yellow flag comes out. It's Dale Lightning leads back to the caution flag. As the big one happens down the backstretch, there are 4 wide. That was never going to sort out, and then they wrecked trying to avoid the crash. Big one is going to take out a lot of our drivers, and we should see some pit stops here, as they probably can't make it from here, but they could get themselves a little bit further into the race in case they get a few more cautions, then they can come down and get some more fuel. So we'll see if everyone comes down or some drivers stay on the racetrack. That could very well happen. But our race leaders, our top 4, coming into the pits. Dale Lightning going to lead them down, but some do decide to stay out. Danny Lloyd, Charles Roberts down the racetrack. They're going to hope for some strategy here, and a few more staying out as well. Trying to see who that is. It looks like it might be Jake Galloway in the 11. It is a black car. It does look like it's Galloway along with Derek Hamill. It looks like those are the 4 drivers that stay out on the racetrack. Trying to get some track position here, but they're only 4. So that's going to be pretty big for them. So Dale Lightning into his pit stall. It's going to be fuel only for most of these drivers on pit road. Going to try and get the quickest pit stops they can. Lightning leads. He'll be the first off pit road. He'll be 5th on the restart with a little bit more fuel than our top 4. So the cars that stay out will release the green flag. Danny Lloyd, Charles Robert, Jake Galloway, and Derek Hamill. Caution out. We'll see what happened. Diego Yepez, one of the first to go around. He collected so many others once they started spinning. They just got 4 wide here, coming off 2 and down the backstretch. Solana makes a move. Jonathan Buford down there, and they make contact right there. They get together down into Charles Bois, then gets down into Diego Yepez, comes up into Adam McDowell. They all spin around. There's Buford up off the ground after Shones gets into him. Shones has had no luck this season, and then trying to avoid it. Some drivers get up and into each other. Right here, Yepez comes up trying to control his car. There's Buford making hard contact with Fitzwater. There's Hanley. There's Jacob Davidson, Tim Gary, Steve Larker, Thompson. There's Hernandez, Nathan Stapleton, all getting involved. Jay Jefferson as well, Alexander Rowe, as there were multiple parts to this accident. But that's a tough break for so many big names here in the Gatorade Cup Series. Yepez, Salata in the 77, second in points, getting damaged in this. Trying to look for Steven Taylor. I think he escapes on the bottom lane as everyone crashed up around him. Some hard crashes there. Trip McGinnis. There's Joe Jefferson up against the outside wall. Some big names involved in this crash. Code Luigi, we talked about his last one, came in this race 2 seasons ago. Well, he is right near all this action as it happens. He missed it all with his onboard camera. How close was that? And then look at they wrecked again. Luigi did a great job just getting himself in the right position. It was probably a little bit of luck as well. Jay Jefferson, the 78 car. Veteran of the Gatorade Cup Series, but he's involved in this big one here at Atlanta. And Jefferson's had a hit-or-miss season. He's either run really well or he's been involved in crashes like this. And you just can't have that to win a Gatorade Cup Series championship. Obviously, he's trying to make the chase for the first time in his career. It's not a good way to try and start that. But Shones in the 17, he has an onboard camera as well. It's just not been the season Levi Shones has wanted. It's been consistently bad luck. And once again, running up inside the top 15, he just collected in a thing that's none of his doing. Just something happened right in front of him. He had nowhere to go, nothing he could have done in this. It gets hard contact. There's McGinnis getting into it hard. Shones is obviously going to be done for the day, and that's a tough break for that 17 team. They have not caught a break at all this season. So Dale Lightning led us back to the caution flag. They came down pit road. He will be the first off the pits as the top 4 stay on the racetrack. Danny Lloyd will be our racer once you get back to green here in the Bass Pro Shops 400. Coming back to the restart lap number 11, it'll be Danny Lloyd and the 56 to the green flag. Once again, he stayed out on the racetrack to get some track position. 4 cars in total stayed out. Zachary Fitzwater Sr. and Levi Shones, Jonathan Buford, Trip McGinnis, and Tim Gary are out from that crash. Eli Bright's following the lap off the pace in the 88 car. We have 37 cars on the racetrack, and 36 will be on the lead lap. About maybe 30th, 28th on back will be damaged, maybe even some more. But up front, Danny Lloyd, Charles Robert, Jake Galloway, and Derek Hamill use the same strategy to stay on the racetrack. As 5th on back, Dale Lightning, the first off pit road, has some more fuel in the car. As the top 4 have less fuel than the drivers behind, they lead us to the green flag, and we are back racing here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. And something to note, though, the drivers 5th on back, they did not put tires on their cars. So it's not like they have fresh rubber to where they could drive around these drivers. They have the same tires on their cars as they started with these drivers. They're just going to try and use the fuel to stretch themselves a little bit farther in the race. for the second position as Danny Lloyd is pulled away. Robert gets clear in the 9 as Derek Hamlin moves to the inside. Jake Galloway through 3 and 4. Hamlin up to third. Now the 2 of Luke Ray went high. And now the 24 down to the bottom lane. Lawrence Pallenpon looking to be the first car off the pit lane. He's up to fourth in the 24 car. It's the front 3 of cars that have stayed out on the racetrack. Yeah, Dale Lightning was the first car off the pit lane, but he has fallen back in the 1 car, so he got stuck up top on the restart. Robert in the 9 looked low and Danny Lloyd for the lead, but the 56 have none of that. Blocks the low lane. And now Roberto Rivera in the 12 moves to third. He's the first car off the pit lane. He's coming to the inside for second. And he got a big run there with a push from Griffin Lynn. Off to turn 1, he's looking for the lead. Roberto Rivera for the lead in the 12 to turn 1. Rivera's going to take it. Now Griffin Lynn, the 7, coming through. He's looking to the bottom lane. Josh Crash moves up to the middle lane. Down low, Anthony Charbonneau on the 00. Max Ayres as well in the inside lane. As Griffin Lynn, the 7, going to try and lead this lap. He's got off turn 4. He has no one near him to try and challenge. Charbonneau's coming, but he's going to be too late. Lynn leads the lap. Now the 00 to the bottom lane for the lead to turn 1. Up top 3 wide, the 12 Rivera, the 43 Josh Crash fall back. Meanwhile, Max Ayres and all over the back of Anthony Charbonneau going to move up to the top side. Go out of the bottom lane to Cole Luigi in the 42. Has a push from Kukulon in the 21. Patrick Smith also coming forward. Luke Rainey as well. Through 3 and 4. Luigi trying to get down low to lead. Remember, these drivers are the ones that came down pit road. They have some more fuel in their race cars. Remember, the front 4, Danny Lloyd and the others, they stand out on the racetrack. They have less fuel. Luigi leads. Oh, they're wrecking. Griffin Lane to the outside wall in the 7 car. No yellows out yet. We're still racing. He kept it straight. We are still green for now. No yellows come out. But he's slow. He's going to be damaged. He's going to come down the pit lane with a big issue to that 7 car. Meanwhile, we still keep it green flag. Cole Luigi leads Kukulon to the start-finish line to lead lap number 15. Yeah, I'm really surprised that they're not bringing out a caution flag, but he didn't get fully around. He just got up into the outside wall. Officials going to be looking for debris to see if there's any out there. But right now, they say it's clear. They're going to keep it green for now. Kukulon now to the bottom lane. Has Justin Lightning coming forward, along with Carter Friesen and Landon Lyons. 334 Sebastian Kukulon going to take the top spot in the 21 car. Off turn 4. Now Justin Lightning to the bottom lane. The 71 car. Side by side. 3 wide now for the lead. Carter Friesen to the bottom lane. They're going to go 4 wide inside the top 5. That's Landon Lyons, Nick Sampson, Max Harrison. Contact there. Still contact. Rubbing. They're going to get sorted out to 3 wide. As Carter Friesen gets to the race lead. Close there. Max Harrison and Landon Lyons were all but spinning there. Now they're going to keep it straight. Max Harrison for second. And Friesen trying to pull away. Now look at Charles driving the 9 to the bottom lane. Remember, he's one of them that stayed out on the racetrack under that yellow flag. So he's going to have to come down pit road at some point in this race. We know for a fact. Robert in the 9. Trying to get up to Carter Friesen because they have lap traffic ahead. You want to be clear once you catch these lap cars. It's Eli Brent, the 88, who is off pace. The next car will be Griffin Lane, but he's up about half a lap ahead of these race leaders. 21 laps to go this time by. Carter Friesen leads in the 38 car. Behind the battling 3 wide, Dale Lightning in the 1 to the bottom lane. Remember, was one of the dominant cars early on. That caution came out, he fell back. He's back up to second now as they catch Eli Bright, who's going to slide up into the car. Friesen around going to race leaders. Friesen and one of them involved as some get away, but it's a big melee on the backstretch, and they're still wrecking in 3 and 4. Cars everywhere as cars compiling in. Hanley to Adam McDowell hits the 09 hard, and Hanley's up off the ground as well. A big crash here in 3 and 4. A ton of cars involved, a ton of our drivers bound for the win. But the yellow flag is out, and Eli Bright and Carter Friesen make contact. Lap car and race leader. And Lawrence Pallenpon escapes the madness to lead with Cole Luigi in second. But do they have damage? They were all around this big crash on the backstretch. I think Cole Luigi has some front end damage to that 42 car. I think the hood is just a little bit up, a little bit bucked up. Now these drivers might come down pit road to make sure they can make it on fuel. They came down around lap 7. That shouldn't be enough. They can come down now, take tires, repair any damage they may have to their cars. Because remember, all these drivers are around this big crash. Charbonneau and the 00 staying on the racetrack to get to the race lead. But Carter Friesen from lead to now out of the race as Luigi into the pits will likely get tires and try and repair the damage that the front end of that 42 car. He's already leaving, so he obviously thinks that damage, the team obviously thinks that damage is not going to be a factor in how his race is going to go. You'll have to see. I mean, it is buckled up a little bit. It'll be interesting to see how he goes with that damage, but off pit road in front, Dale Lightning leads Sebastian Kukulon, Code Luigi, Lawrence Palampon. So it will be Dale Lightning. Or he might be a lap car, though. He might have been involved in that crash. So it might actually be Sebastian Kukulon with the lead off pit road, as we'll see what happened. The big crash happening in front of the whole field. Carter Friesen, our race leader, taken out from lap car Eli Bright in the 88. There's just never a safe place on this racetrack. Carter Friesen, our race leader, cleared the pack in the 38 car, catching the lap car, the 88 V-lap right here as they come off turn 2. I think Eli was going to try and give the bomb to Friesen, not knowing that Friesen was coming up top. They make contact into the wall, both go. Friesen comes down, gets into Dale Lightning, gets into Palampon. There's Code Luigi. Sebastian Kukulon missing, and then right there, Luke Rainey gets pile driven by the 71 of Justin Lightning. There's the 56 of Danny Lloyd, and then they stacked up on the outside with Ryan Taylor and others. Roberto Rivera, this Keegan Thompson getting lifted up off the ground. There's, the A3, Oliver Gowan. Then they come down, TJ Hanley has nowhere to go into Mathis Wells. Right there, the 09 gets hit by Adam McDowell. There's Joe Jefferson. Here comes Anthony Hernandez. He'll get into TJ Hanley hard. And it's a melee from there. So many of our front runners, so many great cars involved in this big crash, and it's all due to one lap car. This is what happens when one lap car gets to the race leader. Everyone gets collected. It's not just one driver that gets involved in this. There are so many cars that have damage from this, and a lot of them were our front contenders. Look at the 6 and the A3, how they kind of just got sucked into the wall. And then right here, Ryan Taylor gonna get hit hard, and then TJ Hanley as well gets hit hard. That is a lot of front runners involved in this big crash here. And on the backstretch going into turn number 3, we'll go on board with Code Luigi in the 42 car. How severe is the front end damage? The crew doesn't repair it. Is it going to be all right? We'll go on board with Code Luigi. Okay, missed the first crash. I think he does get some damage in this crash right there. The hood is buckled up. But how bad will the damage be for the 42 of Code Luigi? We're going to find out on this restart. Also involved in the 75 of Derek Hamill. Start on pole here today. Looks like Pena Salada made it through in the 75 car. Salada, or in the 77, came into this race second in the point standings. And it looks like they missed this big crash down the backstretch. I think they only got just clipped. Yeah, right there they got clipped. But I think Peninsula should be fine. We'll see our points leader, Steven Taylor, if he was able to miss this. He was towards the back of the field. How did the 20? Did he get by? I think he may have. He may have been far enough back to where everyone was up at the top side. Taylor flies on around, and he will still be in this race and try and keep his points lead. So back to the finish line in front was Lawrence Palampon. However, off the pit lane, he falls back. Leading the race is going to be the double zero advantage sharp ball who stayed out on the racetrack. We're going back green this time. From that crash, the cars out of this race will be Joe Jefferson, Adam McDowell, Mathis Wells, Ryan Taylor, Anthony Hernandez, TJ Hanley, Roberto Rivera, Carter Friesen, Keegan Thompson, Alexander Rowe, Justin Lightning, and Derek Hamill retired from this race with the damage he had. Eli Bright 2 laps down, 27th still out on the racetrack. Danny Lloyd a lap down in 24th, along with Dale Lightning in 23rd. So we have a ton of lap cars in between first and second place. Anthony Charbonneau leads the race. Then we have 3 lap cars, V-Lap Bright, Dale Lightning, and Danny Lloyd. Then second place, Sebastian Kukulon, the first off the pit lane, has more fuel and will be able to make it to the end. Code Luigi in 3rd, Lawrence Palampon 4th, Greg Torres runs at the top 5. So Charles Bosch should not be able to make it to the end on the fuel they have in the race car, but has 3 lap cars trying to pull away as we are back racing here at Atlanta. Lloyd slow in the 56, really slow. Luigi in the 42 might also be slow. Palampon going to split the lap car 3 wide. And a lot of the field getting up. There's Dale Lightning falling back. Palampon in the 24 in the bottom lane. Sebastian Kukulon's going to get away. Palampon slides up the inside. Oh, they're wrecking again! Jacob Davidson, the 99, has gone around the backstretch with Charles Robert, Jake Galloway, Oliver Galloway, and the 34, Steve Larker. The caution flag back out, and that is not what Anthony Charbonneau wanted to see. They wanted to go green to the end as they had a nice gap over the rest of the field, but the yellow flag comes out. 4 cars will be a heavy lap right on the restart, and they may be wrecking again. They are. Danny Lloyd has made contact with 2 of our race leaders, and they're piling up Diego Yepez. This race will not stop with the crashing. A ton of cars involved. Lap cars causing incidents everywhere, even under the caution flag. So we'll see what happens with the first one. It's Jacob Davidson, the first to go around the 99 on the backstretch. Possible lap cars involved in that one. We knew this lap traffic was going to be bad. Danny Lloyd holding up the whole inside lane. Davidson trying to get up into the outside lane. And Charles Robert has too big of a run. They make contact up into the wall. They go. 99 spinning like a top. Gets landing lines a little bit. Some get by. And then right here, Steve Larker into the path of the 9 Charles Robert. The 11 of Jake Galloway. The 8-3 of Oliver Galloway also collected. But that's a tough break for everyone there involved. As obviously, that was just Danny Lloyd being in the way there. Slowing up the inside. Jacob Davison saw a hole to get up high and get by. And right there, it's just too late, I think, trying to get up into front of the 9 of Charles Robert. But then as that happened, racing back to the caution flag, they wrecked once again as Max Anderson was collected in a crash with, I believe, Patrick Smith and Danny Lloyd. So we'll see here come to the caution flag. Anderson pulls low, trying to get everything he can. Smith the same there. And it looks like, oh my gosh, Lloyd turned down and just wiped the 98 out. And then Nathan Stapleton came into it and hit Griffin Lynn into the 87 Diego Yepes. I think that was just very uncalled for by Danny Lloyd there. It's going to get more laps off the board. Does this help or hurt Anton Charles? We know the 00 should be short on fuel, but can they save enough under these yellow flags? We're going to find out as we'll come back green with around 10 to go here in the Bass Pro Shops 400. 11 laps to go at the green flag. Anton Charles on the 00 leading this race, but has the other drivers behind. 25 cars on the racetrack, 22 are on the lead lap. The 1, the 88, and the 56 are the lap cars. The 88 and the 56 and the 1, they're still in the middle of the field. The 88 will be restarting 5th in line, but definitely not 5th on the racetrack. It'll be Anton Charles leading the race once again, stay on the racetrack under the last caution flag. The rest came down Perro to get fuel. Sebastian Kukel and Lawrence Poundpond called Luigi. Our top 4, and then Josh Crash in 5th lap to get around the 88 to V-lap right on the restart. We are back racing here in Atlanta. That was a great jump there for Kukulon, right into the back of the 00 for Charles to turn 1. Kukulon all over the back of the 00 as Poundpond called Luigi are slow through 1 and 2. Yeah, I just don't know if the 24 and the 42 are up to pace, but here they come for the lead. Kukulon, the 21, beneath the 00 ran to Charles for the lead through 3 and 4. 21 car out front. Now Luigi gets 3rd from Lawrence Poundpond. That damage in the 42 as it slowed it down. 10 to go here in Atlanta. Josh Crash, Peninsula, Greg Torres also trying to get in the draft to have a shot. Through 1 and 2. And once again, I just don't think the 00 has enough fuel. Once again, they're battling back here. Poundpond back to the inside. Cole Luigi, the damage maybe slowing the 42 down a little bit, but he stays clear into 3. That 42, obviously, I don't know if it's good or bad. That damage, look at the 00 back for the lead. Charles Josh Crash looks for 4th. Luigi trying to fend off the drivers, 3rd on back. Before the lead, Charles and Kukulon are side by side as Crash trying to move to 3rd. We have under 10 laps of racing to go. Charles trying to get by. Kukulon still trying to clear. And it's allowing 3rd on back to close in. Here comes Josh Crash, Greg Torres. Salata as well with Cole Luigi and Lawrence Poundpond. I think the 42 and the 24, they may not be up to speed. They may be a little off pace here. Crash and the 4-3, the huge run to turn 1. Greg Torres and the 10 also on the bottom lane. As Crash looking for another win this season to the bottom lane. Torres takes a 3-1 in the 10 car. Here comes Greg Torres for the lead in turn 3. Kukulon almost makes contact with them. That was close there to 21 trying to get down low, but almost made contact with Torres. Now Greg out front in the 10. Kukulon filters in line. Now back to the bottom lane for the 21 car. Salata in the 77. Second in points is here in the front pack. And Steven Taylor in the 29 even inside the top 10. He's back at 20th. The number 20 car might lose to the points lead because Salata is up inside the top 5 battling for this race win. Kukulon wants it. He's going to get by Greg Torres through 3 and 4. Now Salata in the 77 looking for 2nd, but Greg Torres stays clear. The 77 didn't have enough for a run. Not much time left here in Atlanta. 6 laps to go. Front 3 stay clear. It's Kukulon, Torres, and Charles, but the 00 is very questionable on fuel. And where are our lap cars of Stapleton and Danny Lloyd there in 3 and 4 and will be caught in a hurry coming to 5 to go. Greg Torres in the 10 out front now. Charles, the one that's questionable on fuel, wants a caution flag right now because we are at 5 to go. A yellow would end it, and that would be less fuel spent under the yellow flag for Charles. But how the lap cars go through 1 and 2. The 21 stay with the 10 up top. If I'm Kukulon, I want to get down to the bottom lane right here with this lap traffic. Crash gonna try to fill that bottom lane. Torres trying to get pushed clear through 3 and 4. Torres trying to get around the outside. He will with Kukulon the 21. The rest of the field held up. Charles Blanc getting around the outside. But the inside trying to get going. No one knows where to go as they battle side by side for the lead. It's a 2-car horse. It's a 2-horse race. 4 to go. Kukulon and Torres battle side by side for the lead. Charles Blanc's third and the rest of the field is held up. They will not have a shot to win here today unless these front two somehow wreck each other. Kukulon leads with 3 to go. Torres is second. And then third place after Charles Blanc's questionable on field. Cole Luigi has emerged in fourth. Landon Lyons in fifth. Salata sixth. Josh Crash seventh. Nathan Sampson blocking Lawrence Poundpond down to the apron. Poundpond going to take exception to that. But for this lead, it's not over because they have Oliver Galway heading down the A3 along with Dale Lightning in the 1. If they get held up, there's 2 laps to go this time by. Kukulon goes high. Greg Torres now to the bottom lane. A 4 left traffic and they're side by side. Kukulon, no one getting away. Caution's out. It's over. That is it. The crash with Jeff Bright in the 5. It's over. It's going to be Sebastian Kukulon to win here in Atlanta as they crash down the backstretch. Jeff Bright, the possible spinner. And a crash-filled race here in Atlanta going to end because of a crash. It's going to be Sebastian Kukulon in the number 21 car to win the Bass Pro Shops 400 here in Atlanta with Greg Torres and Anthony Charles Bois rounding out the top 5. Looks like Charles Bois going to have enough fuel to make it home there at the end. But a crash-infested race here at Atlanta sees so many damaged cars finish inside the top 10. And our points leader, Steven Taylor, 15th here on the day, as Pitney Slot ends up inside the top 5 in 5th. So the white flag is out for Sebastian Kukulon. 1.5 miles more for that 21 team. And they'll be victors here in season number 8 of the Gatorade Cup Series. Crazy, crazy race. Eventful finish. It would have been very interesting to see how that went at the end because the lap cars were side by side as the leaders were side by side and they had 2 laps left. It would have been something else to see if Anton Charles Bois could have possibly caught up and trying to spoil a party for those front 2 who were held up there and looked like it was going to be those 2 battling for the race win. But the race ends under the yellow flag. Sebastian Kukulon going to win here today at Atlanta with Greg Torres a close second. Anton Charles Bois going to have enough fuel to make it home in third. Landon Lyons and Pena Salah going to round out our top 5 here on the day at Atlanta. So the Gatorade Cup Series, once again, they come to Atlanta all the time, and all the time it is craziness. We've seen that in the second Atlanta race in the season. We've seen it here in the first one. We've seen massive crashes. We've seen just craziness happen. Today we saw a lap car take out our race leader, but coming off turn number 4, it's going to be Sebastian Kukulon winning the Bass Pro Shops 400 here in the Gatorade Cup Series at Atlanta with Greg Torres in second. So coming down the front stretch, checker flag is in the air. Sebastian Kukulon will win the Bass Pro Shops 400 here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway over Greg Torres in a side-by-side battle to the caution flag. Kukulon wins over Torres, and we'll see what happened to Jeff Bright to bring out the final caution of the day. Ends the race under the yellow flag. Danny Lloyd's not going to have many friends after today, I can tell you that. Held up Max Anderson right here. Anderson trying to get up with the 56. Jeff Bright's up there, makes contact. Those 2 go spinning down the backstretch. The yellow flag comes out. And lap traffic, once again, impacts the outcome of this race. The yellow flag out for a 2-car incident on the backstretch involving Max Anderson and Jeff Bright. And that allows Sebastian Kukulon to get to victory lane here under the caution flag as Kukulon wins the Bass Pro Shops 400. We'll now go check the finishing results. Here are the finishing results from the Bass Pro Shops 400 Atlanta. 4 caution flags for 14 laps. Obviously a very, very ugly Atlanta race. 14 lead changes, 9 different drivers led laps in this race. Sebastian Kukulon wins the race there at the end under the yellow flag. Greg Torres behind him in second. Anton Charles Bois led the most laps at 11. Will end up third here today. Landon Lyons in 4th. And Peninsula 5th place is enough to take over the points lead. Cole Luigi, another consistent 6th place finish. Josh Crash in 7th. Lawrence Poundpond, Jake Jefferson, Luke Rainey round up the top 10 on the day. There's our top 20. Steven Taylor started towards the back of the field. Never really got to show what his car could do, whether it was caught behind lap traffic on restarts or whatnot. He ends up 15th and loses the points lead by a few points to Pena Salada. There's a look down 21st and 40th. Dale Lightning led the first 6 laps, and the caution flag came out, fell back, got involved in the crash. Then was a lap car there at the end as 21 cars finished on the lead lap. 25 finished the race running as Derek Hamill finishes 26th, the first car out of the race. He started on the pole here today. Look down at the rest of it. Obviously, a lot of crashes, a lot of big hits took cars out of this race. We'll now go look at the point standings. Here are the points after the wacky Atlanta race. Pena back on top of the points list by 18 points over Steven Taylor, who just falls to second. Patrick Smith, Jacob Davison keep their third and fourth places, and Justin Lightning rounds out the top 5. Then we have Trip McGinnis in 6th, Sebastian Kukelhoff that went up to 7th, Max Harrison 8th, Lawrence Palapon 9th, and Code Luigi rounds out the top 10. There is our top 20. Currently, the 2 wildcards belong to Ryan Taylor and Josh Crash. It belongs to Taylor because no one besides Crash is outside the top 10, inside the top 20 with a win. As you can see, we've had a few multi-time winners this season. Very out of the ordinary, but we've just had that in every series this season. See Eli Bright, the first car below 20th in points. He's only 1 point behind 20th. As Steve Larker, Alexander Rowe are 2 winners. They are beneath the top 20 points. They really need to get up there to try and use their wins as wildcards, especially since right now there's only 1 wildcard being taken by wins, and that's Josh Crash with his 2, and he's been on the charge lately. So we look ahead, we're going to go short track racing. You thought this race was crazy. This one could be even wilder. We go to Richmond for the Target 400 in the Gatorade Cup Series. I'll see you guys then.